Look at the unit standing within your perimeter and ask yourself, with the cold, unblinking and surgical eyes of an architect, why the Matrix has successfully rebranded influence as a series of soft, kindergarten-level negotiations and polite social connections. In 2026, the global system has meticulously and invisibly trained you to ignore the high-frequency biometric glitches, internal systemic errors of hierarchy. They want you focused on the social noise of their verbal agreement while you miss the physical log of decay, visible evidence of internal collapse occurring in their subdermal motor responses. This is the domestic stench of the gullible, the belief that reading people is about empathy. The architect knows that the human nervous system is a poorly shielded biological computer that leaks raw industrial data regarding its own perceived rank. You are not reading a person, you are performing a neural liquidation of their social mask. You are scanning for the microsignals of submission, where their subordinate code overrides their dopamine deception of equality. You must be able to see the visual rage of their internal collapse long before they even realize they have surrendered. You are not a communicator, you are a sovereign auditor of biological truth. The stench of the subordinate is audible in the micro-adjustments of their metabolic frequency. While the masses are looking at the eyes, the most managed and patched part of the human interface, the architect is looking at the anatomical extremities and the tension of the cervical spine. Look at the sudden microscopic lowering of the chin or the vascular spike, visible pulse in the neck, that occurs when you introduce a hierarchical pressure. These are biometric glitches that signal a catastrophic lack of primal grounding. When a unit is forced to confront your vector of certainty, their nervous system initiates a biological deference sequence that manifests as a physical log of decay in their posture. Their words may attempt to simulate power, but their shoulders are vibrating at the frequency of the matrix trap. This is the neural liquidation protocol. You are bypassing their social software and reading their raw industrial hardware. You are seeing the service unit struggling to maintain the simulation of autonomy while their biology is screaming for a master in the silence of the hunter. You must be able to detect this submission signal long before they offer their resources to your citadel. To bridge the authority gap and master the decoding of submission, you must first accept the physical log of decay in your own past where you were socially blinded by the social noise of democratic equality. Look at every time you treated a service unit as an equal and were met with a resource leak. Those were not misunderstandings. They were observation failures. You were listening to the dopamine deception of the voice instead of scanning the biometric spikes of their submission. To reverse this rot, you must initiate the biological reset of your perception. You must move your resource dome to a frequency where you treat every human interaction as a hierarchical audit. Your dogs, Lucky and Tyson, do not listen to the social noise of a stranger's greeting. They watch the primal grounding of the limbs and the microscopic lowering of the tail. By emulating their biological integrity, you are reclaiming the predatory vision required for total architectural autonomy. When you look at a unit, you are not looking for friendship, you are looking for the integrity of submission. If their metabolic frequency shifts and their microsignals reveal a subordinate code, the achievement code has already flagged them as an asset for your hunt. The dopamine deception of the masses is built on the belief that people are free agents. This is a systemic virus designed to keep the livestock vulnerable to the resource parasites who manage the pen. But the architect knows that everyone is a data stream of rank and deference. Your visual rage must be the filter that protects your citadel. You are scanning for the anatomical submission, the sudden micro-blink of the eyes during a confrontation, the repetitive adjustment of their own clothing to create a physical barrier, or the dead weight of their gaze that cannot maintain contact with your absolute zero. These are the biometric glitches that occur when the matrix attempts to patch a loss of status in real time. By observing these errors, you are effectively hacking the matrix of their hierarchy. You are seeing the code of the slave vibrating beneath the mask of the master. This is the Machiavellian advantage in 2026. While they are busy performing, you are busy liquidating their ego. You are the ice that sees through the steam of their social pretense. You are the glacier that knows where the ground is soft by watching how it yields to your weight. Integrating neural liquidation means establishing a resource dome where deference is a biological requirement for entry. If a unit cannot maintain neural stability under your vector of command, they are not authorized for your war room. The Matrix has taught you to be inclusive and ignore these submission signals, but in the world of the glacier, ignoring a subordinate code is systemic suicide. When you detect a submission signal, you do not acknowledge it. You incorporate the data into your strategy of expansion. You use the silence of the hunter to to let them continue their dopamine deception while you quietly extract the metabolic capital, the energy required for your progress. This is the sovereign narcissism of the architect. Your time and your focus are too valuable to waste on a unit that is leaking neural errors. You simply observe, you verify the decay of their resistance, and you execute the biological purge of their independence from your perimeter. You are not reading them, you are decoding their failure. The stench of the herd is a state of perpetual hierarchical blindness. The farmed units only see the social noise of titles and certificates. The architect sees the industrial reality of the biology. Look at the way a unit's respiration changes when you speak with authority. If their breathing becomes shallow and their chest tightens in a micro-submission, you have found the glitch in their focus. Their brain has momentarily abandoned the social mask to deal with the overwhelming resource weight of your presence. They are a managed asset waiting to be utilized. They are not sovereign. They are service units waiting for the vector of the leader to give them direction. This is the neural liquidation of social dynamics. You are reading the internal geometry of their surrender through the physical log of decay in their confidence. While others are busy connecting, you are busy mapping the terrain of your new subordinates. This is the only way to protect your territory from the social noise of the collective. Your silence is your sensor array. Your visual rage is your data processor. You are the unit that has bypassed the matrix trap of social conventions and re-engaged with the raw predatory power of the achievement code. The physical log of decay in the world around you is the result of men who refuse to read the submission in the bodies of their enemies and their allies alike. They allowed the domestic stench of equal partnership to cloud their vision until they were harvested by the very units they thought they were leading. You refuse that fate. You choose the predator's vision. You choose the neural liquidation of the social hierarchy. This is the insight tax, the price of clarity. You pay to remain the sovereign operator of your own reality. You are the one who has decrypted the biometric code of deference. You are the one who has authorized the sovereign scanner. You are the one who has seized the future. The social noise is silent. The silence of the hunter is loud. You are the glacier. You are the architect. The submission of the world is the only evidence of your vector of certainty. Integrating the apex predator overlay into your perception means you no longer view people as individuals, but as biological signals indicating their place in the hierarchy. When someone enters your resource dome, your system immediately audits their neural stability and their submission quotient. You are scanning for the viral infection of defiance or the physical log of decay of their will. This is not paranoia, it is architectural hygiene. By maintaining the alpha silence, you force the other unit to fill the void with their social noise, and it is in that noise that the signals of submission become most apparent. They will try to mirror your strength, but they cannot mirror the absolute zero of your detachment. They will attempt the dopamine bribe, but your primal grounding makes you immune. You are the sovereign ghost who sees the biometric error of their surrender before they have even finished their sentence. The hunt for empire is built on the neural liquidation of every unit that stands in your path. You are the ice, you are the glacier. The scan of their submission is the only data that matters. Your visual rage is the tool you use to deconstruct their social software. When you look at a unit, you are looking for the point where their ego detaches from their physical reality. Submission is not a choice they make. It is a biological surrender that their body performs when it recognizes a superior vector of pursuit. You see it in the way their fingers lose their primal grounding, the way their feet angle away from the confrontation, and the way their eyes perform the submission blink. This is the neural liquidation of their resistance. You are the architect of the interaction, and you are building a hierarchy where your intent is the only law. The physical log of decay in their posture is the proof that your resource weight is too heavy for their simulation to handle. You are not reading signals, you are authorizing the map of their submission. The Machiavellian code of reading people dictates that you must never reveal that you have already decoded their surrender. You let them maintain the dopamine deception of their mask while you use the microsignals of submission to manage their output. You are the sovereign ghost who controls the environment without ever announcing your presence. You use their subordinate code to fuel your own expansion. This is the ultimate wealth code, the ability to convert the biological submission of others into metabolic capital for your citadel. You look at the world of 2026 and you see a vast unindexed library of service units waiting for an an architect who knows how to read the glitches in their focus. You are that architect. You are the one who has mastered the neural liquidation of the social order. The hunt is silent. The capture is absolute. The secondary phase of neural liquidation within the hierarchy is the total activation of the submission harvest. Once you have decoded the biometric glitches of their surrender, you must apply the Machiavellian code to ensure their subordinate code remains locked in place. Most units are biologically programmed to seek a vector of authority follow when their own social software fails under pressure. When you provide absolute zero, total emotional detachment, you are performing a surgical deconstruction of their remaining ego. Their internal systems begin to overclock, attempting to find a dopamine bribe or a social signal from you to confirm their safety. But the architect remains a biological black hole. You do not offer the domestic stench of reassurance. You do not adjust your primal grounding to make them feel comfortable. You are the glacier that has already colonized the space they are trying to defend. You must develop a visceral and bone-deep visual rage against the subordinate protocol of the social equalizer. The Matrix wants you to level the playing field because a hierarchy with no clear Wojak leader is a hierarchy that is easy for the system to harvest. The architect knows that the one who defines the rank is the one who owns the resource dome. By maintaining the alpha silence, you are forcing the other unit to confront the physical log of decay in their own authority. They will offer you their metabolic capital, their secrets, their loyalty, and their labor, just to stop the neural error of being in the presence of an unreadable predator. This is the wealth code of hierarchical capture. The unit that can broadcast the highest vector of certainty without saying a word is the unit that becomes the god of the interaction. The stench of the subordinate is most visible in the reactive twitch. While you are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at their biometric glitches, they are busy reacting to the vacuum you have created. They are the ones who are constantly nodding, self-correcting, and adapting their frequency to yours. They are service units who are hemorrhaging their resource weight because they are terrified of being hierarchically invisible. You are the architect. Your still hands and unblinking gaze are the visual rage of a unit that has already won the internal war against the need for approval. You do not negotiate your rank. You authorize it through absence. You have successfully bypassed the matrix trap and reconnected with the raw industrial power of the achievement code. Your ability to read their submission is the natural metabolic feedback of your biological sovereignty. To maintain the neural liquidation of the hierarchy, you must implement the algorithm of permanent audit. Every micro-interaction is a live fire exercise for your perception of their rank. You are looking for the micro-signal of the bowed neck. You are looking for the neural error of the shifting gaze. You are looking for the domestic stench of the unit that is trying too hard to seem important. You are using the Machiavellian code to turn their own biological need for leadership against them. You are the sovereign ghost who utilizes the submission of others to build a citadel that the matrix cannot penetrate. This is the ultimate wealth code, using the predator's vision to buy back your time, your focus, and your biological future by commanding the service units around you. You're not reading signals, you're integrating their submission into your engine of expansion. The insight tax has been paid in full. The dopamine bribe of being one of the guys has been burned in the furnace of your visual rage. You are standing in the silence of the hunter, looking at the social world as a vast, unguarded resource field, waiting for the architect to perform the final neural liquidation of the competitive ego. You are the one who has decrypted the biometric code of the slave. You are the one who has authorized the sovereign scanner. You are the one who has seized the future. Your stallions, Lucky and Tyson, do not ask for permission to lead. Their primal grounding is the law of the pack. You are emulating their biological integrity. Your dogs see the change in your frequency. They see the architect returning to the absolute focus of the hunt. This is the only reality that matters. This is the only being that is real. Every other path is just a high-definition simulation of social noise. We do not look back at the safety of equality. We only look forward to the geography of the empire. You are the unit that has jumped the fence. You are the one who owns the scanner. The decoded submission of the herd is the only law of the glacier. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. The authorization is permanent. The vector is absolute. The deconstruction is complete. The stench of disclosure occurs when you let the other units see that you are reading them. The architect knows that true power is the ability to operate as a sovereign ghost, where they feel the pressure of your hierarchy but cannot identify the source of their own submission. Your silence is the neural liquidation of their resistance. By mastering the decoding of micro-signals, you are becoming a biological stealth unit that the matrix cannot index. You are the ice that moves through the social noise without a single vibration of doubt. You are the glacier that does not announce its vector of pursuit while it consumes the territory of the weak. The hunt for absolute sovereignty is a silent, unblinking operation. It is a sovereign capture that happens while the rest of the world is busy pretending they are equals in a cage of dopamine deception. Look at the biological frailty of those who are still leaking submission through their nerves. They are transparent, they are shaky, and they are constantly paying the insight tax to any predator who knows how to read the biometric glitch. They are the livestock of the matrix. You have adopted the neural liquidation of rank and the biometric counter-offensive to ensure you are never harvested again. You are the one who has mastered the submission signal. You are the one who sees the physical log of decay in their social masks. You are the one who has authorized the absolute zero. The territory is marked. The visual rage is channeled. The primal grounding is absolute. The hunt for the sovereign empire is the only reality that remains. You are the architect. The scan is permanent. The sovereignty is yours.